That's right, the Russian doll's bop from The Masked Singer, which means there are now just 4 celebrities left. And producer Chris is back with the highlights from last night's competition and who's still standing. You knew it.
I knew it, but I am outraged. They were robbed.
Too
soon.
They
deserved a spot in the finals. I will die on this hill. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that they deserve the spot there, too?
I do. You know, for the costumes alone.
I know.
You know, I was
such
surprised.
A great job. Zach, Taylor, and Isaac. I haven't talked or thought about them since the 90s, but I love seeing them back. So, Marissa, last night was the quarterfinals. We had 5 contestants performing. We trimmed the field down to the final 4. Next week, we'll have the semifinals. The final 4 are the Black Swan, the Piglet, the Yeti, and the Chameleon. Last night, Rob Riggle was our guest panelist. Let's kick things off with who I think is now the front runner, the Black Swan. So you hear they're performing Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. She had a super fan clue. All of them had a super fan clue in their clue package. Hers was Cher. She said, we've both been part of iconic fantasy films, and she was a part of my world the very first time I shared my voice. Now, you may remember, JoJo was in the movie Aquamarine, where she was friends with a mermaid. Cher was in a movie called Mermaids. I think this is all lining up. The mailbox clue that the Swan had was, you're mega talented. I'll never forget when you were on Oprah, and so excited you recently got the major recognition you deserve. The panel guests Dua Lipa and Normani, but I think we're sticking with JoJo here for this one.
Yeah, I'm too. Even though Normani is a good guess.
It was. Robin remembered she dressed up as Oprah for Halloween one time.
Yeah, so she did.
They thought that connection was.
But what gave it away for me, Chris, was the 2-step. She just did it. Definitely JoJo.
All right, now let's talk about another obvious one, the Piglet, who we know is Nick Lachey, like I've said.
If you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way.
So you hear him singing Superstition by Stevie Wonder. His superfan clue, Bruce Willis. I was speechless when we met. He said, always cool to meet a fellow action star. I don't know if I would consider Nick Lachey.
Right.
That's okay.
Fellow.
His mailbox clue, whether on my TV or in my headphones, I'm so lucky I discovered you in the 90s, but I've never been jealous of your public relationships. Nick has had a few rough ones. The panel guesses, Justin Timberlake, Jeremy Renner, which would be fun someday in the future. And then they came around to Nick Lachey like we thought.
Yeah, it's Nick Lachey. I mean, I have nothing on this but Nick Lachey.
Can I be honest with you? I think he's the weakest link at this point. I think it should have been him going home.
I was just about
to Russian
say
doll
that.
should have gotten the shot. But, you know, he's got the fox tie, so I understand.
I think, too, because people know it's him.
That's also very, very true.
And his fans, so.
All right, let's talk about the Yeti next. He could give the Black Swan a run for her money. Take a listen.
Let me to where you are. Others who broke in my heart. They were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms.
It's a different side of the Yeti this time around. We heard him sing Bless the Broken Road by Rascal Flatts, a little country. So his superfan clue, Diddy. Okay, so he says, I've been lucky enough to work with Diddy. He helped me reach the top of the mountain. His mailbox clue, you are a true triple, no quadruple threat. I'm excited to step up with a Masked Singer legend, and I'm proud to be your biggest fan. Here was the other thing. We got a Cloodle-Doo clue about the Yeti. He makes a much better panelist than you do. Now, I thought about that for a while, and Omarion was on America's Best Dance Crew. However, the judges picked up on the Step Up clue. They went with Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum can't sing like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and a lot of our Good Day DC viewers tweeted us last night saying
exactly
Omarion.
Exactly. We were late to the game on that one.
We were.
But we're coming around. All right, let's talk about the Chameleon next. He sang Drop It Like It's Hot by Snoop Dogg.
And if the pigs try to get at you, park it like it's, hey, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, and if a lizard get an attitude, popping like this, hey.
So his superfan super clue is Jackie Chan. He says he'll always bring that rumble to the stage just like me. His mailbox clue, any friend of Martha Stewart's is a friend of mine. I even saw you play at Madison Square Garden. I wish you only success. We know Wiz Khalifa has done duets with Snoop Dogg before. Panel guest, Blake Griffin, Young Thug, and Snoop Dogg himself, but I'm still convinced on this one that this is
Oh, yeah. And you know that Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa are really good friends. Any friend of Martha Stewart's is a friend of mine. So,
right.
yeah.
All right, let's talk about, last but not least, the Russian dolls, the ones that we had to see go home, the ones that got robbed. Unfortunate timing, but they performed I'm Still Standing by Elton John last night.
You can never know what it's like. Your blood like wind beats just like us. And there's a cold, lonely light that shines from you. You wind up like a wreck, you hide behind that mask.
So Nicole actually guessed correctly for the second week in a row. She's got a good run at the Golden Ear going on. Jenny also got it right. Ken thought it was the Jonas Brothers. Robin guessed Sugarland. Take a listen to what they had to say after the show, though.
From moment one, we knew we were going to be the first group playing on the show, and so it was immediately apparent that we need to try and make the most of that and make it more than just here's three singers, but make a game of it.
I don't think we've done this much almost a cappella like singing in probably 25
No
years.
guitar solos, no drum solos.
Well, yeah, you know.
Just straight sing. Which means no guitar solos or drum solos to screw up. Yeah, that's
They were also glad that they didn't have to learn any real choreography, they said. So next week, we've got the semifinals featuring the Final Four, and you can catch it Wednesday at 8 right here on Fox 5 as always. At this point, I think it's a neck-and-neck race between the Yeti and the Black Swan, Marissa.
I think you're right, too. And I think Hanson, the Russian dolls, they should have lasted longer. And people are like, oh, my gosh, Hanson, they've grown up. I'm like, guys, Bop came out in the late 90s. Yeah, they grew up. But they look good.
No, it's still a jam.
It's the same, still with hair.
I know.
Same hair.
I thought they looked good.
They did.
Amazing.
And they sounded good,
Still
too.
got it.
Yeah, they did sound really good.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. 10:21 right now, and coming up, Dave